Fired it back in 2022. So let's talk more about this and some of the things surrounding this outage. Let's bring in Eric Cole. He's a former CIA hacker and cybersecurity expert. We're going to discuss today's outages. Good morning to you, Eric. Thank you so much for being with us. Elon Musk says he believes not only was this a targeted attack, in fact, he says that they have pinpointed that it came likely out of Ukraine. He was very certain about that when he talked about it. We are also seeing around the country, Tesla dealerships are being shot up. Tesla cars are being set on fire. Elon has talked about the calls for his assassination in quite detail online. And adding more context for our viewers here, Elon also says that the corruption that Doge is uncovering is far worse than just insider trading. He's also named some people. He says he is finding many of the NGOs are one of the biggest waste and fraud scams against the American people. He says he's not going to stop. Some are saying this morning that all of this is a coordinated effort to get him to back off, exposing what he's going to expose. We know that there are criminal referrals also now being considered by the State Department. How likely is it that this is a coordinated effort to get him or to get Doge to back off exposing more than what they've already exposed?
Yeah, this is definitely a coordinated effort. When you're going in, and this is what we call a denial of service attack, we call it DDoS, distributed denial of service, which means you have a large number of people attacking and going after Twitter. And what we're finding is cyberspace is the new platform for protests. It's a new platform for aggression. So instead of going and protesting outside of a Tesla plant, what we're seeing now is these groups of people, and it looks like Darkstorm is what's responsible for it. It's a hacking group, pro-Palestine group is taking credit for this attack, is they had tons of computers, thousands of computers that all simultaneously launched attacks against Twitter to try to make a statement and make a point.
You know, it's interesting you bring that up because Elon Musk also said in an interview that he believes that the same people who are funding these pro-Palestine, pro-Palestinian, I should say, pro-Hamas, pro-terrorist organizations, he has found, according to him, that they have traced it back to billionaire funder George Soros, who has behind some of this. How valid do you believe that is? He says that they've been able to trace those steps. And what does that mean collectively for the American people? And what does it mean for people who've been affected by some of these outages?
So the first thing that's important to remember is these cyber attacks, they're well funded. They are not just what we used to call, when I started hacking in the 90s, most of the hackers we call script kiddies. They were like teenagers, they were just having fun, but they really didn't have an agenda. Today, these are companies that have millions upon millions of dollars. They're well funded and have the resources to actually pull off these coordinated attacks. And what it means for all of us is, this is just the beginning. If they're going after Twitter and able to take Twitter down, think of the redundancy that's in place on Twitter or X and how many resources it would take. And they took it down very quickly and very fast, and X was not able to respond in a timely manner. This means our banks, our e-commerce, or any of these sites we rely on to run our lives are at risk and could also be taken down at a moment's notice.
Wow, that is some important context and important reminders for us to be thinking about as we see this plays out. You know, one of the questions I also have regarding this is, do you think this is going to have an effect? Because now a lot of the American people are watching this or listening to what you just said, and they're wondering, well, what is it that whoever this is, and you kind of named who's behind this, what is it that they want to hide if this is, in fact, such a coordinated effort that they're trying to get him to back off? Do you think it's going to work?
I don't think it's going to work the way we think it is. He's not going to back down. If you know Elon or watch Elon, nothing's going to stop him. He's going to keep going. But I think the piece we're missing is, I don't think this is merely an effort to get Elon to step down. What I think this is a smokescreen. Normally, you do DDoS attacks so you can break in and steal the data. Think of how much data X has on American citizens. Think of the amount of data they have about our country. And what if this denial of service attack is really a diversion And what's really happening behind the scenes is they're stealing all of the data from X so they could potentially use that against us in the future.
Well, now you've just added another layer to this mystery and more for us to be concerned about and to be watchful about as all of this continues to play out. Eric, thank you so much for your insight. We'd love to have you back as we continue to watch this and continue to see what else gets exposed. Appreciate your time. Joe?
Well, the high-profile 2022 murders of 4 University of Idaho students has captured